Okay, so if we want to log the deck, I'm going to create a method in my .h file. So it's going to be a minus void. So we're not going to return anything. We're just going to print out to our NSLog. So it's going to say log this deck. We're not going to pass any parameters to it. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And I'm going to put it over into my deck.m file. So the .header file, the .h, all it does is lets you know what methods exist. The M file is actually where you implement these methods. And I'm going to press return a couple times to get that up here. Alright, so to log this deck, it's not really that difficult because we already have a method that logs this card. So in fact, we're never actually going to call the nslog method in this deck. What we're going to do is we're going to loop through all the cards, and then we're going to just simply on each card call the method to log the card. So to do that, we're going to use a for loop. Int I equals 0. So 0 is the start of an array. I is less than, and we're going to do card deck count. So count turns an NSU integer, so an unassigned integer, back, telling you how big is this array. So it's probably going to return a 52. And then we're going to do I++. So we're going to step through and print off every single one of these cards. Now to print off the card, all I have to do is call our card deck object at index I, and that'll give us back the card. Now if we put one more square bracket in front of this, oops, not that one, that one, it's going to say the object return, so we say we get the 2 of spades back here. We can say 2 of spades, log yourself. So we're going to say log this card. So whatever object we get back, whichever card we get back, we want that card to log itself. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And to get this to run, just to make sure, I'm going to go to my viewcontroller.h file. And we're going to change this from a card star to a deck. So we're going to create an entire deck. And again, we're going to change this over to a deck as well. So in our viewcontroller.h, we're no longer dealing with cards, we're dealing with decks. If we want to deal with the card itself, we can get it from the deck, and because we know the deck inherits a bunch of cards, we know what a card is. So make sure you change those two parts in the viewcontroller.h. The final thing, we're going to go to our viewcontroller.m. And right now we're alloc, and we're calling an init method that doesn't work for us. And we're actually temp is trying to do a card. We don't want to do that. We want to do a deck. So alloc. And when we type init, you see our init method for the deck, not the card. So temp is a new deck, so you're allocating space. Init with a full deck. And then we're going to change one more thing. So instead of log this card, we're going to say log this deck. If you do those a couple things, now we're going to be dealing with an entire deck of cards rather than just one card. So you can kind of see object-oriented programming, it makes it real quick. Small little changes will give you a lot more stuff to work with. So let's go ahead and try this. We'll run it. Alright, so when the iPad comes up, that's interesting, but what we really want to focus on is the output. And I can see I have my 1 of clubs, 1 of spades, 1 of hearts, 1 of diamonds, 2 of clubs, spades, hearts, diamonds, and it goes all the way through. And we got our cards, which is good. The problem is they're all in order. So in a card game, it's like getting a brand new deck of cards. They're all in order, and it's not too hard to guess what your neighbor has. So our next video will show us how to shuffle, and then once we have that, we'll be ready to go.